the Pro Football Show presented by the Chevy Silverado, the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. It is week 6. We've got Deion, Dave, Dan. We've got Glennie on standby. How are you guys feeling today?
Well, I was fine until I just scrolled through Twitter and saw Deion's gross foot and almost.
Oh, so disgusting.
Why would you put that out there?
You posted a photo of your foot?
Disgusting.
I had to.
It's disgusting. I just saw it a second ago. It's like, what the fuck?
Like without a bandage on?
It's gross.
I gotta go look at it.
Yep. I had a few people questioning me on my scooter and questioning me limping around like it wasn't authentic. So I had to say, let you see, all right, this is what I deal with every day.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting.
God.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Why
and I'm highly medicated.
Why would you post? If I posted that, I would be banned. I would get kicked off Twitter. Honestly, it's gross.
Why would you get kicked off? Well, you get kicked off Twitter. You can't get kicked off Twitter. You've done some other things that you're not kicked off Twitter.
If I put that is far more offensive, graphic, disgusting than anything I've ever done.
How is that offensive?
Is that like what is this?
You see it?
Nail thing in it?
The whole thing's disgusting.
Looks like a.
That's a pin.
It's a pin?
How does that show up without a graphic warning?
Like not safe for
I just
work?
retweeted it. I love it. I actually love it. Shit, I love it. I want everyone else
What
to
was
see
that
it.
game I used to play way back in the day? It was like, I didn't put the thing in the beginning. It'd be like rate 1 through 10 how
Yes.
gross this
Yes. Yes.
And people would send me spikes going through their head. And
I
shit.
once put one where
that's nasty.
a kid tried to jump a fence at DePaul and he had literally an entire spike through his leg.
Fucking
Stop.
It's disgusting.
Stop.
Fucking
Oh, stop.
Well,
awesome.
I can't.
You say
I can't
stop,
even
you're the one who
fathom.
brought on with that grossness.
Deanna, are you feeling better though?
No, my leg is. I'm highly medicated. I'm on. I feel ooh-ish. Snoop Dogg-ish right now.
Well, at least you're getting better. So before we get into all these games, big news in the NFL this week. John Gruden resigned.
Wow.
It happened very fast. So Deion, what were your thoughts on that whole situation?
You know what? I couldn't believe it. I didn't know where it was coming from. I had to do my homework, and then I heard that they were actually doing an investigation on the Washington football team and stumbled up on these emails, which I don't believe that whatsoever. I think somebody went after him, and that's how it came about. But it's just crazy. It happened so fast, I really couldn't get my head around it. And I seen all the reports, all the people on the ESPN commenting on that. I had no idea that why would you put those kind of remarks in emails? Like that. Everybody says all kind of stuff. Like if all of us was followed and censored, we nobody would be working. Sure.
Well,
Let's just get that straight.
most of my shit's out there.
You.
Just side note.
Yeah, you.
But
Yeah, not everything, but something. But this is crazy. Like I would.
no, everything.
I can believe he would email that.
Everything.
The crazy thing to me is this is an investigation on the Washington football team. Gruden resigns. Schefter's going through it right now. Are we going to
Schefter's going through it with what?
I don't
Schefter's going
understand the
through it with
Schefter stuff at all.
I feel like it's blowing up.
I think Schefter's more. It's something he's always done. We all know that to be an insider, you have to trade.
So Schefter basically sent an article to John Allen.
Or Bruce Allen, yeah.
Bruce Allen being like, and Bruce Allen was his source, being like, correct anything you want in the article before I print it, but I thought that's how it worked anyways when you had a source. So that I don't get why.
Yeah. Okay.
Journalism is upset because it is, like Schefter is supposed to be a journalist. We have a fly in the studio, and he's clearly trading secrets and good graces, which I kind of assumed was the case.
I thought that's how it worked.
Right.
Doesn't everybody do that?
But that's how it works.
But it's not. It's not journalism.
What
Big
is the
J
fly
journalism.
episode now?
Yes, it is.
Breaking Bad.
But back to my point is that when are we going to get to Dan Snyder? It's crazy.
But what's the definition of an insider? I'm sorry, I'm going back to Schefter. What's the definition of an insider?
I guess
that's an insider.
you're right. Yeah, exactly. And an insider is going to only give you tips and sources and ththings like that
from the inside.
And if you protect that person, so I don't understand what that big deal is about at all. As far as the story, it's one of those ones. It's hard to say it. I'm always trying to on these subjects be fairly careful with the words. John Gruden had to be fired. Like the words he said. Specifically to Demario Smith and in regards to gays were so far over the top. You don't have those words. Never mind, write them in your vocabulary unless your thought process messed up. He deserved to be fired. You can say that, and I think you can also say it is a very dangerous precedent to start you're going to go into somebody's emails that are decades old, private, and start being held. Now, the two things can't exist. He deserves to go, but, so many people, I saw, I think Minka Kimes, who I've never met, seems like a nice enough person. She's like, it's not surprising that white men in power talk differently behind doors. Everybody talks differently behind doors. This is not a white man. Everybody talks differently behind closed doors.
I agree with you 100%. What I'm afraid of is that this is my problem with this. The guy that I was 7 years ago might not be the guy that I am today. So you're going to go back 7 years and condemn me when I may have grown and matured, and I'm not that same negative, ignorant person that I was several years ago. I've grown. We all grow in increments of 5. When I was 15 to 20, I was this. 20 to 25, I was that. 25 to 30, I was this. All of us grow that way. So now we're going to start condemning everyone and crucifying everyone from yesterday. Now, rightfully so, what he said and what got out, he got to go.
Agreed.
Let's just get that straight.
Right. So
he got to go. But this is a slippery slope right now, guys.
That's what I agree.
Both things
it's
can
a
definitely
very
be
complex.
true.
And by the way, like, I'm not saying would, but like, almost every, like Roger Goodell, if we go get your private emails from the past 20 years, I'm sure it's not going to be super clean. There's stuff in there. It's just, I agree. It's tough because he has to go, but you don't like to set that precedent. He wasn't even involved in this story. You're investigating the Redskins, and he's like collateral damage, and it is strange that he's the only one. There has to be far more.
That's what I don't believe. I believe somebody went after him.
They had to.
I don't think it was. I don't think somebody just stumbled over it. Somebody went after him.
He went after Roger Goodell in the emails, and that clearly is what has created this entire firestorm. I do honestly think that, like, it was the thing that was maybe, I don't know, laughing is maybe the wrong word, but it did tickle me that they were like, John Gruden had a clean sweep of going after minorities, women, gays, and Roger Goodell.
Yeah, they had to throw him in
what?
there.
What
Like,
are we talking about?
Right,
The guy,
exactly.
The guy who makes
Like,
$40 million a year, who's like the most powerful guy in pro sports. What?
They put him in the same conversation as John Gruden sending topless photos of cheerleaders without their consent.
And by the way, that's one of those things, they put that in there. I have been in plenty of group chats where people are sending picture of women in bikinis. It's like, where is the line of what's too far where you lose your job? And Deion, you've been in plenty of locker rooms. For a long time, you could be a locker room in a locker room. Barstool started, it's supposed to be what guys talk about in a locker room, just busting balls. It has, the goalpost certainly moved. Again, he has to be fired. He said stuff that I would be like, whoa, you're dropping that word? Like, that's pretty harsh. But it's just such a slippery slope and a hard thing. And I think there's a lot of people, you can say both. What Deion said and I think what I said, you can be like, he has to go. But geez, it's a slippery slope if you're going to go 10 years down private conversations that were never meant to be public. But again, you want to know if someone's like got issues, whether it be racism, sex. You want to know that. So I don't know.
It did seem like he had all of it, like you said, like Schefter said, that it was like sexism, racism, all of that. But at the same time, I mean, now there's going to be a lot of people saying, well, he wasn't even.
And the NFLPA, I think, is suing. Last I saw, to get all of the emails publicized, which I assume all hell will break loose if that happens.
Have to.
Oh my God. Will he ever work again, guys? Will he ever work again?
And not only him, all of them. You don't know who's in those, those emails. My only thing, and yeah, it's the old white boy club, 100%. But every, I remember the hockey players.
Everybody.
There was a group of hockey players who once had their like internal text chain published.
That was recent.
They were talking about players' wife inappropriately. Anytime you think you're in a trustful position, you say shit that shouldn't be said.
He definitely did come off looking like a scumbag.
I'm just say it like this. Everybody got a butt, and it stinks.
Yeah.
Let's just get that straight.
I like that.
Everybody's got a butt and stinks. It is. So. And I think what you find a lot, the people who yell the loudest about this shit are generally with the stinkiest butts.
Right. Yes. No, that's true.
But then there's also the people, too, that were like, oh, well, release all your text messages. And you're like, well, you're also kind of outing yourself that you've said stupid shit. And
yeah, but it's both. I mean, like I said, he's over the top. Like, those are things that are too far along. But,
yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
But
there's one community that you can't mess with. And you can tag the blacks, you can tag anybody. You mess with the gay community, you forget it. It's over.
And to be honest,
it's a wrap.
Things change because even the time, like Kobe used that word, like people got over it pretty quickly. It's different time, different era, different change. But those came across the combo to me of the Michael Sam comment and the F. That sounded more targeted than maybe somebody just flippantly saying like he has some
he
prejudice.
Definitely crossed multiple lines, no question. Getting back to football, we'll look at the records from last week. Dan, you had quite a week.
Yeah. Dominated.
You guys all had good weeks, though.
You didn't dominate.
Yeah.
You won by one.
Well, I mean, let's look at my losses real quick. Cleveland screwed. Giants quarterback hurt. Washington football team don't remember. Carolina don't remember. Las Vegas quarterbacks homophobe. So I mean, coach, you had 3 unpredictable instances.
So we've crossed them off. I mean, Deion, you're still leading, I think. Yeah. No, Deion, you are
I'm
now.
No,
I'm
9-31. Yeah, by one.
Yes.
Big Cat is leading by one.
We're gonna get to the primetime picks at the end of the show, Deion. But I have to say, I'm sad. I'm sad you're out already. But we will get to that.
Yep.
Let's get to the storyline games of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. It's hardworking and the design is big, bold, and commanding. The Silverado is a truck that turns heads. Dan, big one for you this week. We're going to start with you down there. The Packers versus the Bears. I know this is a very emotional game for you.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
I feel relatively confident. I know
Really?
that's crazy to say.
It is
crazy.
The Packers have some defensive injuries. The Bears' defense is a lot better than I thought they were going to be because I thought week 1 against the Rams, that's what we were going to see. They're aging rapidly and things aren't falling into place. They've been playing really, really good defensive football. Like, they were all over the Raiders on Sunday. The offense is a work in progress, but I think they'll do enough. I don't know. This always hurts me because it always ends up like I always convince myself all week the Bears can beat the Packers and the Packers just shove it down my throat. But I'm right now, it's Wednesday afternoon, the Bears can beat the Packers.
You guys both said it was crazy. Do you?
Well, I've been doing this thing 2 decades, and at least half of them, if not more, with Dan, and I've seen this song and dance so many times.
I mean, the stats on here, the Bears are 1-9 in the last 10
broken
matchups.
record, and not just 1-9.
Yeah.
Games. I've told this story earlier today, but we were in Arizona one year when the Packers played the Bears. They kicked the ball, and I walked from my room, which was right next to Dan, knocked. By the time he opened the door, there's one hotel next to each other. They were down 40.
I'm going to look it up right now.
They were down 40.
No, he's not joking. It was the
fast.
game that was like a video game. The Packers, I think, were up 42-0 at half.
It was.
Yeah. 55-14 was the final score. And yes, 42-0 at half.
What year was this?
This was 2014.
Well,
it
I'm
was
telling
so
you,
bad.
I didn't
was
even,
so
I didn't
bad.
even sit down, and they were down so much, and that's in my head. And I've heard this speech. Surprisingly, we could probably dig it up.
Yeah,
Surprisingly,
no,
I
every
like,
week.
and it ends the same way. I'm taking the Packers.
Deion?
Someday.
I feel I'm sick of it. You know, I know Dave has been hearing this for a while. I'm already sick of it. I'm sick of the song and dance every week that the Bears are going to do.
Wait, they're a 3-2 team. Excuse me.
Dan,
They're a
not
3-2
good.
team.
They're not good.
But he's
They're not
emotionally
good.
You
connected.
picked against them
they're-
last week, and they
Yeah.
punked the
Yeah,
Raiders.
they're bad 3-2.
Well,
okay.
Remember last year we had this whole thing of a good bad team.
We did
All
have
right.
that.
They're a really
I forgot
bad
about
team.
That was the
Here's
They're
the
a
thing.
bad team that's got a good record.
Okay, the Bears are probably bad. I
Thank
would
you.
like to see them play. They're playing the Packers this week. I think in 2 weeks they play the Bucs. If they can win one of those two, I'm going to
could get
upgrade
really
them
bad.
to maybe mediocre.
And I got to be honest, it's another thing. It's Dan, it's the Chicago guys. They just want early,
Right.
like, let us enjoy football for a
Yes.
week.
Some hope.
So, no, I mean, I'm very open about it. I want to, in the first week of December, the week after Thanksgiving, I want the In the Hunt graphic to pop up and for the Bears to be there.
Yeah.
That's all I ask
Yeah,
for.
but you got to do what I do with the Falcons. You got to take your heart out of it.
No.
Sooner or later, you got to.
Well,
think
with
he's
all due
capable.
respect, the Falcons are far worse than the Bears.
Yeah, the crazy thing about the Bears is the Bears suck, but then
That
they
is true.
always end up being like frisky in a weird way,
Yeah.
where it's like I didn't
Yeah,
think they'd be
8-8.
3-2.
They're
Yeah.
always in like 8-8. That's what you mean.
And they have
I'm
frisky
taking
fans.
the Packers, guys. This is I cannot pick a quarterback who's throwing for 51% completion percentage over Aaron Rodgers.
He's
I
a
would not do
rookie.
that.
I was
I
about to
don't
go to
care.
the Justin
I would not
Fields.
pick. I
game.
would not do that.
This could be
It's
a
his-
big.
I won't do it.
He's 2-0 as a starter in games that Matt Nagy
Good.
didn't try
I
to get
won't
him
do it.
murdered. That's a fact.
So
That's
that means
fact.
if Dave run out for a pass right now, one of those balls are not going to make it for two passes.
Aaron Rodgers
That's what
is
that means. 51%.
Aaron
Weird
Rodgers
way
kind
to
of
phrase that.
he's too loose anyway.
I don't know for a pass one.
Aaron Rodgers is too loose. Half the time he's not really trying.
You're going to look to catch two, but one of them's not going to make it to you. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, all right.
The problem is Aaron Rodgers always tries against the Bears.
Yeah.
Right.
Just because he
Probably
wants
because
to,
of
he
you.
wants. Yeah, well, to say he wants to break your heart, and he's not sending you peace and love this week, probably.
I asked him, I said, how you feeling this week? Dan wants to know. He has not responded.
Oh. When did you send that, today?
Yeah, today.
Okay,
earlier today.
so we'll stay tuned on that. Let's get to the Chargers at the Ravens. Deion, I'm going to start with you because your guy
Thank
Lamar
you.
Jackson lights out
Wow.
last week. I mean,
Wow.
500 yards,
I mean,
4
Lamar,
touchdowns.
You know
Take it
what?
away.
I was in so much pain, and I'm sorry, but I was in so much pain that I couldn't even get my finger to text you all Monday night.
I already had my
Because it was
response.
just so-
I had a response.
I know you did. I know you did.
My
That's one of
response
the
was
reasons I didn't
very,
do it.
very, very easy, quick response. Would have been just Josh Allen, send back.
I was surprised
Hey,
we didn't get the
okay,
text.
and I'm glad you went there because their stats, what? 60. Both of these guys are 67% completion percentage. I love it, man. Both of them 3 interceptions apiece. This is going to be a really good game. I like this game. I like Baltimore only because they're at home. They're playing a West Coast team, long travel involved. That's why I like Baltimore. They're at home. They got a lot of momentum coming off this huge win. Lamar's much more confident. Now, talking about running, Dave, you got to agree with this. Lamar, so many times, he should have run. Everybody in the stadium was like, run!
I didn't know.
And he's just stood back there to pass.
I didn't notice it
Like,
that
what is
much.
wrong with you?
I mean, he's clearly a run-first quarterback, but I didn't notice it
No.
that much.
No. It was many times in that game where he should have taken off and run, and he just sat back there and let the play develop, and he threw it. I mean, he was sensational. He was sensational.
I didn't notice it that much. Listen, I'm a broken record. Yes, he ended up the stats, and they had a great comeback, but I feel like it's the same shit. They fall behind. He struggles early. Defense goes into this prevent junk too early. He gets rolling, and then we're like, okay, it's time to stop him. It's too late. The Colts couldn't get a pass rush at all. They were gassed. They had some injuries. I just don't like. He it's too herky-jerky. He's not a consistent fourth quarters. It's like when the defense changes because of a big lead, that seems to be when he gets going. But this is a tough game regardless. Herbert seems like the real deal. I am not sold on the Ravens. They probably could have. They could have lost to the Colts. They should have lost to the Lions. These aren't great teams. Chiefs. I'm going to take the Chargers here.
Dan, and you're really high on Brandon Staley.
Yes,
You
I
love
love him. I think the Chargers are very much for real. Justin Herbert has been playing incredible. If you want to say Kyler Murray, maybe Dak Prescott are definitely the front runners right now. Maybe throw in Josh Allen.
No.
What are you talking about? No.
He's not in that category. He's below that category. He's not on the same level as those other guys.
His
He's
numbers
2
are
steps
ahead
below.
of all those guys right now.
What, you mean yards?
No, you want to go touchdowns?
You talking about complete percentage? We go back to percentage and touchdown.
Yeah, sure.
67%.
He's not
13
ahead of those
touchdowns,
guys.
I don't think he
interceptions.
realizes he has 13 touchdowns.
Yeah, he has 13.
No, he has 30. It's
I don't
sitting right
think
here,
Deion
13 and 3.
realizes that, yeah.
13 and 3. That's what it says, 13 and 3.
So he's pretty damn good. He's got better numbers right now than Aaron Rodgers. You think he's pretty good, right?
No, Aaron Rodgers has history.
Okay.
History.
Okay.
Dak is 13 and 3 like him, but Dak is 674 darn percent.
I mean, right?
completion
Yeah.
percentage.
I mean,
Herbert's been incredible. I think the Chargers win this
Herbert
game.
is good.
I agree with Dave. The Ravens have been kind of flirting with it. Now, the Ravens, to me, like, no matter what, they're almost Patriots light in the fact that, like, no matter what, they know what they are, and they're very good at, like, being consistent all the time. A good run organization. So even when they have maybe a dip here and there, they still are able to find that level. I just think they have been flirting with it a little bit too much recently, and they're due for a loss.
And this is like the stupid fan who watches a game like myself and I see it so many times, but the Ravens were just getting really dominated for about 2.5, 3 quarters. Then they go, hurry up, no huddle, just throw, guys are wide open. It's like, what happened? Did the Colts just stop? Go soft? Did the Ravens just change? But you see it so many times when you scrap your normal offense that you play for 3 quarters, and then it's like bing, 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 and it turns into a video game. It's crazy.
Speaking of the Patriots, let's go to the Cowboys at the Patriots. Now, Dave, I know that you've not really bought into the Dallas Cowboys yet. They did kill the Giants, and then the Patriots struggled against the Texans last week.
Well,
where do we stand now?
The quarterback for the Giants got concussed, so that certainly didn't help going in, so that game was done. I've upgraded the Cowboys to good.
There it is.
Okay.
I've upgraded the Cowboys.
There it is.
Yep. I think the Patriots win this football game, though.
Wow.
They showed, the New England Patriots showed the absolute heart of a champion, battling back against the pesky Houston Texans, who had them on the ropes. It was Balboa, Apollo Creed 3, and we kept swinging and came out victorious. I think we used that momentum. And the Cowboys I have them good, not great. Patriots at home. And I take the Patriots every week.
Yeah, I mean, we knew you were going to do that. Deion, what do you think about Dave's assessment on your Dallas Cowboys?
I think Dave is brilliant. The way he spins it to the Patriots is
Well,
brilliant.
they were
I
down.
mean, you got to really think about this.
Yeah.
Like, you got to really think about this to come up with a great story like he comes up with week in and week out. And he's like Jerry Jones, where he makes you believe in the Patriots. He makes you believe that this team has an opportunity. The Cowboys looks lights out, defensively, offensively, running the football, throwing the football. Dak, Ezekiel, I mean, they're balling. Now they got a cornerback who stepped out of into notoriety that can really take away your best receiver. We're thinking, we're saying, we're establishing. This team here has all intangibles to challenge the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which we saw in week 1, and we didn't believe they were on the same level. I love the Dallas Cowboys right now and what they're doing.
Dan?
So the Patriots +4 makes a lot of sense to me. I think this is going to be a tight game. I think you're just buying stocks at different, like the Cowboys couldn't be higher right now. The Patriots probably couldn't be lower because they obviously had played the Bucs very close. And then that Texans game, they should have lost. But the Texans just
so
like
bad.
full-blown Texan themselves and kicked the ball into their own center's head, all that stuff. The game swings on that. I'll take the Cowboys straight up, but I do think the Patriots are going to keep this very close. And that's the kind of team they are this year where it's like they're showing
Could easily be 4-1.
they're showing that they're going to probably be, a decent team later on in the year, but maybe not all the way there. I just don't know how you defend the Cowboys. The Cowboys have so many weapons. They have so many ways to kill you. It's very, very hard to defend them right now.
Where do we still going into
Said that
week
about
6?
Marshall Faulk and the Rams. Took them right out of the game.
Where do we stand on Mac Jones, Dave?
I'm happy with him.
Yeah?
Yeah, very happy.
5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, but
Yeah.
he's a rookie, so.
And he's also under
Yeah.
immense heat.
Mm-hmm.
He's not having time to sit back there and survey.
All right, we'll get to more games in just a little bit, but let's go to #IBelieve. So last week we did I Believes for week 5. All 3 of you guys had pretty good takes. Stan, we'll start with you. The Bears will beat the Raiders. And look at that.
Look at that. That's a good I believe.
So week 6, what are you thinking for this
All right,
upcoming
so
Sunday?
week 6, I got to think of my I believe. Can someone else have
Yeah, okay,
theirs
so
right
Dave,
off
we'll
the
go
top?
to you. The Bills will beat the Chiefs and become the Super Bowl favorites. Also pretty
Fact
fucking good
and
take.
fact.
Oh, I have my I believe.
Oh, go for it.
The Lions will win a game this weekend. The Lions are 0-5. They're going to win a game.
They're gonna
this
beat the
weekend.
Bengals.
They're going to beat the Bengals. They're right there. Dan Campbell crying is what they needed. They're going to win this game. Shout out Detroit Don and Superfan. They will be happy on Sunday. The Lions win their first
I
game.
mean, that's a football guy thing to do, right? Cry at a press conference.
Absolutely.
Dan
Dick
Campbell.
Vermeil, one of the greatest criers of all time.
That guy would cry if the wind blew. He
Yeah.
loved to cry.
Seriously.
Dave, your Bills take, pretty good?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
They're the favorites now.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So I believed I was right. I don't know. This week it's just basically a different way to say a pick. I am going to say the Cleveland Browns will become the second choice in the AFC this week.
Oh,
I think
all right.
they beat Arizona convincingly and become a legitimate Super Bowl team.
All right, and Deion, you said if Seattle loses, there will be whispers of change. We know Russell Wilson is hurt, and they obviously did lose on Thursday night last week to the Rams, so also a good take.
Well, that may save the whispers because Russell's gone, so that's over. It's a wrap. You might as well pack up your suitcase and the season's done. Okay, now I believe Dave almost beat me to it, but he took a different take on this. Mine also involves the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are playing against the Arizona Cardinals, who are hot as fish grease right now. And they have a quarterback who everyone is applauding for the MVP, and I like the little kid. Now, he's playing against another
You don't like
quarterback
him.
who you guys are very fond of.
Yeah.
Now you're going to see head-to-head who's who. And one of these quarterbacks, however they fare in this game, is going to go in a downward spiral, and you're really going to question them. And I'm picking the guy, last name Mayfield, for some strange reason.
You
Whoa.
think
Wow.
He is
No,
on drugs.
I'm picking him the spiral.
He's on drugs.
The spiral.
He said he was
the
Snoop Dogg
fall
level
and can't
early.
get up.
Oh,
Oh.
never mind.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm
got
not
us
picking him
there.
to win. Did you think I was going to pick him to win?
That's where I thought you were
Have you
going.
lost your mind?
Yeah, well, you're on drugs, so I
mean-
thought maybe.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Can we get weather on this game? Because I'd like to see
Yeah.
how our
Plenty.
different weather
Plenty balls.
people
Glenny Balls.
handle this stuff during the week.
Weren't we just talking about Cardinals Browns, right? Yeah, so it's going to be in the
Yeah.
50s. It's actually going to be really shitty weather in Cleveland. We're talking 54, rainy, and like 20-mile-an-hour winds. That's pretty gross, actually. Really.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
not
Dave,
good.
They
there-
got a chance.
It looks
Cleveland
like
got a chance.
Glenny might have a more accurate weather than Hannah.
Glenny, good job. Cleveland got a
Thank you,
chance now.
What did Hannah say?
She didn't really have the rain part of it. Your weather in Cleveland on Sunday.
It's going to be 62 degrees and sunny.
I mean, I'm looking here. I
If you
got
look-
59 and rain.
What?
For what?
Oh no! On today or Sunday?
Sunday.
The big part of it?
Yeah, wind.
The rain and the wind?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the Sunday conversation. We're going to go out to Caleb and Glenny with stand-up comedian Theo Vaughn.
Theo Vaughn.
Don't say it like that, dude.
Theo Vaughn.
Hold on. We gotta start over, dude.
Theo Vaughn.
Hold on, let me take a second, man. You make it, you freaking get it. You put in this,
Prasa or Electro?
oh, neither, man. I don't do anything like that.
You ever been prosecuted?
Oh, I've been electrocuted.
If you go to Texas, you can get prosecuted and then electrocuted.
I like that, but they cook everything.
They're getting a little liberal
Texas is?
with just how much they're doing the death penalty.
Yeah.
Killing everybody.
Look, man, look, dude. I think the Lord wants some of us back, honestly. You know, there's a lot of stray pups here in the old. You good?
I'm golden.
Okay.
So being a comedian, you have to. It's a hard lifestyle. Is that true? Being a comedian is a hard lifestyle. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, you're on the road a lot, you know? I mean, you're not like a trucker.
You stay in a lot of hotels.
I've stayed in a lot of motels first.
What's the difference between a hotel and a motel? What's the M stand for?
What do you think it stands for?
Murder.
Oh, damn, you talking about Ramadas.
You like making people do stuff?
What do you mean, like a personal assistant or something? Or like, you mean like a.
You like making people laugh?
Yeah, I do like making people laugh. Dude, one guy laughed so hard, one night he just came out of the closet at one of my shows. Some guy was just like, I'm gay. He just yelled it out.
What is the Theo Vaughn demographic? It's old?
I would say it's a lot of kind of rural emo. So kind of dudes that would build a tree house and then kind of tear up in it. You know what I'm saying? But then also a lot of dudes who might do, get out and do a little MMA, closet MMA people.
Closeted MMAs.
Yeah, so people that are, they might be in the closet, but they're gonna come out fighting.
Are you breastfed?
By small breasts though.
Yeah.
And that, the trauma from that you never shake.
Is it more polite to sip or chug out of a boob? Sip or chug? What's more polite?
If you're by yourself, dude, if it's Sunday night or whatever, I chug right out that bastard. You know, I'll open the governor on that bastard and just fill up. I'll fill my pockets with it.
Do you think it's all milk in the boob, or do you think it's more like just a bag of chips, just mostly air?
Oh, my mom was salt and vinegar, more of an anxiety sauce, I think.
What do you think is the right age to wean off breast milk?
What do I really think, or what are they legally doing?
What does Theo Vaughn think?
I think, you know, we had a kid in our town who'd get under that mom's shirt, get under it till he was 8.
It was his mom?
It was his mom, looked like his mom. Same profile, side profile at least, front profile a little different.
So what's the right age?
I think until he starts ordering it a certain way, then that's when you shut him down.
Are you single?
I'm single, yeah.
Are you ready to?
What? I thought you were gonna say, I thought you were about to invite me to an Asperger's conference. I didn't know what was going on. I'll mingle, dude. You know, I'm not that premier sex. I'm not like I'm not good at sex.
Me neither.
Oh, right on, bro. Yeah.
Boss?
You think I'm good at sex, bro?
Oh,
Of course not.
Really?
This guy?
Oh,
Come on.
dude. I bet you are Babe's Ruth, bro. I bet they send you in there to frickin', you'll pitch it and hit it, dog. You know what I'm saying, bro?
All right.
God damn. Dude, I can't tell if this is a good interview or
What do you mean?
if I have autism, dude. Were you raised on food?
How old were you when you stopped breastfeeding?
I don't know if I ever breast out two. Is that too young?
Nobody believes that here.
All right, thanks so much, guys. It is time for the Ain't Nobody Care Game of the Week. We are going back over the pond. The Miami Dolphins playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. Before we talk about the game, Glennie, what's the weather like in London?
So we're going far away right now. Obviously, we're not going to America, so we're going this way.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
you know, it's going to be pretty shitty. It's London. I think it rains there. It rains like more than Seattle. We're talking like 59 overcast and 10-mile-an-hour winds. But fun fact, they're playing a Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, first ever retractable roof. So even if it's bad, we'll get the roof.
Didn't they play in that stadium last week?
I think they probably did, yeah. But I'm saying it's the first ever roof, so
Okay.
not a big deal.
Okay, nice.
Good
nice.
job, Glennie.
Nice.
Good job, Glennie. So, Deion, I'll start with you. What are you thinking about this game?
First of all, I'm trying to figure out how smart the NFL is because they always pick horrible teams to send them over
Yeah, right.
seas. They really like how do you just do that? How do you just sit down and say, look, we're just going to pick these teams and send them over there because let's just do that.
Maybe they
'Cause
just think
this
everybody
is
in London is just happy to have it there. They don't really care if the teams are good.
Yeah.
They got to know. They got to know that we're not sending them to our best. They got to know that sooner or later. I'm going to take the Dolphins in this one because I think the Jaguars are probably going to go 0-11 before they win a game.
Okay.
The Dolphins did say that Tua came back to practice today. I don't
Yep.
know if that changes your opinion. Dave, I know you're not a huge Tua fan.
No, I'm not a huge Tua fan, but they've been so bad without him.
I like Tua.
They've been so bad.
I like Tua.
They've been so bad without him. It kind of adds some, I guess, credibility to his game. I don't know. This is a terrible fucking game.
Terrible game.
Terrible.
I'll take the Dolphins, but gross.
Fun fact about the Jaguars, they have lost 20 games in a row now. And if you go back,
Wow.
you can actually find the tweet when they started last season 1-0, and they tweeted like not satisfied with
Yeah, right.
1-0.
Tough.
And now they've lost 20 in a row.
I wouldn't mind if you're going to relocate a team. Their helmets look like the old Euro. What was the old Euro League called?
The NFL Europe.
NFL Europe. That
Yeah.
looks like it could be in that league, and
Yes.
the London Jaguars kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Just leave them there.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of being a little bit delusional, you saw Urban Meyer again saying he wants 250 passing yards and 250
Yes.
rushing yards every game.
That's the goal. Every game.
Goal.
250 and 250. Also, there's never been a team, so I'm going to take the Dolphins. There's never
Not
been a
gonna
team that has had a quarterback and coach more like not on the same page. After the game last week, Urban Meyer said, we're desperate for a win. We're desperate every time we come into work. We're desperate. We want this win so bad. Trevor Lawrence, 10 minutes later in his press conference says, you can't get desperate. So that's what this team is right now.
But they were like they're polar opposites even in college too. Like
Yeah.
Urban was always acting that way, and Trevor Lawrence was always calm and collected.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence, they almost have to feel bad for them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's
for
number
sure.
one pick, comes out of a great program, never loses. He's got Urban Meyer acting like this is, a rah-rah. He's creating all this controversy, terrible environment. Like, nobody expects Jaguars to be good, but at least be professional.
Yes.
Deion, as a coach, where are you standing on Urban's antics so far?
I don't know if they're antics. I think this is who Coach Myers is. These aren't antics. This is who he is. It's just not translating right now. I think he's a darn good coach. I mean, I've checked his sources and his staff and all that. I think he's a darn good coach. They're just not having it together. He's not dealing with anything else than some of these other teams dealing with. We got some other garbage teams as well in the NFL. Just like this team here, they just were the worst, and they're continual. When you got a rookie quarterback that's not playing well.
Yeah, but the headlines with them are almost off. They're off the field, not even on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
there's no doubt he's a good college coach. He's won multiple national championships at different schools. But do you think he's going to be a good NFL coach in the long run?
You can't be a good NFL coach unless you get good talent. I don't care how good you coach. If you don't have the talent, you can forget it. You got to get better talent.
I don't think he's going to be a good NFL coach in the long run because there won't be a long run.
Yeah, he's
Like,
gonna-
we won't be able to decide it.
It's
It's almost like Saban. You can't decide whether Saban was good.
Well,
NFL.
Saban was a
He was
good
decent,
assistant for a while.
and he was a
too.
decent
Yeah.
NFL. Like the Dolphins weren't an abject failure, but he also wasn't there long enough.
What's the percentage you think he could end up at USC right now?
I don't know. I think this thing.
I don't think he'll do that.
Yeah, I
Kaz.
think
I
it's
don't
going to
think
be
he'll do that.
tougher to sell people on him. I mean, actually, fuck that. People
Yeah.
just want to win, so
Yeah.
they'll take Urban Meyer anywhere. I would take Urban Meyer.
I don't think he'll do that. I don't think he'll do that.
But-
I don't think that's not his character to just take this L and just run to
What?
college. I don't think
That's
his
what
character.
Saban. That's basically what Saban
Well,
did.
but he also like ran at Florida when things started to get bad off
Yeah.
the field. He ran
Yes.
at Ohio State when
He's a
things got
runner.
bad off the field.
He's a runner.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Ohio State DNA.
James says he's a runner. James says he's a runner.
He is.
He is. When things get hard, he runs
Fake
away.
heart attack guy.
And headaches.
Yep.
Big time headache guy. Let's get into the rapid fire games of the week. Rapid fire is presented by Cross Country Mortgage. When it comes to your mortgage, don't take any risks and go to the favorites over at Cross Country Mortgage. Even if you're not looking to buy a home right now, they can still help you out with a bunch of stuff like renegotiating your current loan terms. Go to crosscountrymortgage.com/barstool. Cross Country Mortgage can take care of you through your home buying process. Cross Country Mortgage LLC, NMLS 3029. All loans are subject to underwriting approval. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Now, guys, don't forget, we do have Glennie with the weather for any of these games that we want to get to, but we'll start with you, Dan. I'm going to go opposite order this. We're going to start with the Bengals at the Lions.
Yep, Lions. They are I believe.
Yep.
I think they're going to win this game.
Dave?
That is somebody who does not think the Bengals are remotely for real, which
I think they're okay.
3-2 versus home 5.
But I also think that the Lions have to win one at some point, and I think this is the week that would be good.
I mean, they do play in the same division as the Vikings. I'm going to take the Bengals. Hopefully, Joey Burrow's throat is okay.
Oh, yeah, the throat contusion.
Yep.
I've never even heard of that. Deion, what do you think?
I'm taking the Bengals in a blowout.
Okay. Let's go Texans at Colts. Dave?
Colts. I think the Colts will make a run at the division before it's said and done.
And that's also the AFC South is wide open because
Right.
it's the Jaguars, the Texans, and then I don't know what the Titans are. The Colts are weirdly like 1-4, but totally still in this thing.
And the Texans are still just awful.
Yes. So I'm taking the Colts as well.
Deion?
Yeah, I'm taking the Colts as well.
All right.
This is a horrible game.
Yeah, terrible. 1-4 teams. Let's go Rams at Giants. Deion?
Oh, my God. I'm taking the Rams.
Rams.
Won't be
Yep.
close.
Is Danny
Rams.
Dimes out?
I think he's out, although there was a report that he read a book on the flight home from Dallas.
Reading. Big.
Yeah.
Reading.
So concussed in reading, that's very dangerous.
It didn't matter what book it was as long
Yeah,
as he was
just
reading.
reading a book. Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep.
He looks like a guy who reads books.
Absolutely.
Even with the
Duke.
concussion, yeah.
Yeah.
Chiefs at the Washington football team. Surprisingly, both 3-2, Dan.
Or 2
2 and 3.
Yes.
Excuse me, 2 and 3. Yes.
2 and 3.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, both these defenses are absolutely terrible. So then the question is, who can score more? Who can get convert more fourth downs? I'll take Patrick Mahomes over Taylor Heineke.
Dave?
I'm going to take the Chiefs, but I think, would I be stunned if we sat here a week from now and the football team pulled this off? No, but I'll take the Chiefs.
Deion, you've been saying the Chiefs' defense is terrible, so this game is kind of up in the air.
Yeah, they can't stop anybody, but they're like Dan said, they're gonna score. They're gonna score some points, and they got to turn it around sooner or later. The Chiefs did this a couple years back. Might have been even last year where they were horrible defensively. Then probably week 10, week 11, something like that, they got it right. They got it together and just started rolling. I'm going to take the Chiefs in this game.
The Chiefs, the greatest one-year dynasty that ever lived.
Yeah, crowned it a little bit too
Talk
quick.
about crowning a dynasty with they won one Super Bowl.
Let's go Vikings at Panthers. Deion, your guy in Minnesota, you still riding with him?
Wow. I mean, I take my guy. My guys cost me 3. I would be up on you guys by 3 if I wouldn't let my friendship come into this play. So right now, I'm prime picks today. I said I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going with the Carolina Panthers. Then I just felt guilty. I felt kind of that guilt, that same guilt
Well,
that
did they
Dan
win
feels
last
when he
week?
picks
They
against
had
the
the-
Bears.
The Panthers
No, they
lost.
lost.
Oh, no, I thought we were talking the
Yeah.
Vikings.
Vikings beat the
So-
Lions.
Yeah, they had
Yes.
that push.
So I'm going to take the Vikings.
Okay, Dave?
Yikes. I'll take the Panthers. I don't love it, but I'll take I could see the Panthers reeling off like 10 straight losses at the start.
Yeah, I'm taking the Vikings because of Sam Darnold. Like, we got a little ahead of ourselves the
did.
first couple weeks, being like, Sam Darnold, something, he's figured it out. It was
No,
the Jets,
we.
it wasn't Sam Darnold. No. Sam Darnold
Yeah,
is
that wasn't
Sam
we.
Darnold, which means that sometimes he can look great and a lot of times he can look bad.
We were a lot of us, Deion, I know you necessarily weren't, but saying like, oh, it's a New York Jets problem, but maybe it is a Sam Darnold problem as well.
Could be a both problem, yeah.
Yes.
He's not a bad quarterback. He's just not
He's
great.
turnover
not
prone.
bad.
He's got like a 1-to-1 touchdown to interception.
Been like that way since USC.
Yep.
We've already talked about this game a little bit, but the Cardinals at the Browns. The Cardinals still the only undefeated team in the league. Dave, you said you think the Browns are going to win?
Yeah, and again, I do have a future on the Cardinals, 17-1 to win, 13-1 to win the NFC. It'll go down even more if they win this game. I don't think they are, but I won't be happy. I won't be mad if I'm wrong, but I like the Browns here. The Browns, by the way, absolutely fucked. They beat the Chargers. I know there's bad calls, and then there's inexcusable calls. The pass interference, inexcusable. Inexcusable, cost them the game.
They were the first team, I think it was in NFL history, to have 500 yards, 40-plus points, and 0 turnovers and lose the game.
Yeah. Myles Garrett was furious after
Very
the game.
Brown.
Well, that call, I mean,
Yeah,
what
I mean,
are
it's
you doing?
terrible.
How,
Yeah.
what are you doing? I'm taking the Browns.
And Deion, you said that you were taking the Cardinals, correct?
I'm taking the Cardinals because I just don't feel like Baker can propel them to a victory.
What?
I don't feel like he could throw them. He could win it with his arm.
can
And
run.
I feel like the Cardinals, yeah, he could do that. The Cardinals are going to score some points. I feel like when you go into the stadium right now, the way the Cardinals are looking, 21 points are going to be on the scoreboard. You're going to have to score. You're going to have to score, and Baker's going to have to do it. Even though they got phenomenal running backs, but he's going to have to make some huge plays, man.
Dan
Okay,
looks like
so-
the emoji right now.
Well, listen, my friend Deion, he's got a foot injury. If you haven't seen it, it's disgusting. He might be on painkillers, whatever. It's just very tough to hear someone say when the Cardinals roll into the stadium, they're guaranteed to score 21, when last week they scored 17 points.
Yeah, they haven't actually
Yeah.
been great.
Last week they scored
What's the
17.
average?
They have-
What's the average?
Yeah, I
What's
know
the
the
average, guys?
average, but last
They're
week
up
they
and down.
scored 17
They're up and down. They struggle with Jacksonville, and
What's
I'm on
the
them.
average?
I'm just saying, last week they scored 17 points.
I go by the average.
I will-
We look at old numbers, man. Look at the numbers. Numbers don't lie, right?
Well, it
And
is
nobody
tough.
has the
Look
average
at
in
it.
front
It
of
is
us,
tough
so
to
it's
say
like,
they roll in and score 21 when they didn't last week. But-
Yes.
And I think the Browns defense is pretty good. They didn't
Yeah.
look good last week, so what do you know?
No, I'm sorry. They may average 24 or 30. I don't even know. Probably 27.
nobody has that in front of us, so we really don't
They
know.
have averaged a lot of points.
Yes.
Because they put up a ton
Yeah,
of
Had a
points.
couple
Titans,
monster games,
yeah.
but then they've struggled versus
Yes.
Jacksonville. They had the turnovers. I watch them every week. They are, to me, a slightly misleading. They've had 2 dominating
They are.
games, and then they've had
They
2,
are.
like, who are they?
Dan, who are you taking?
They are.
I'm taking the Browns.
Taking the Browns.
Especially with wind.
Oh,
they
I
can
love
run the
that.
ball
I
in the
love
wind.
that.
Yeah, Glennie, you said 20
love
miles
that.
an hour, right?
An hour rain, 50 is going to be gross. So run.
All right. I mean, but Kyler Murray can run, though. So,
Yeah, no, I just think the Browns are set up.
Gotcha.
I think the Browns play bully ball, weather ball better than the Cardinals. I mean, and I agree with Dave. I think the Cardinals are a good team, but if you've watched every
not
single
great.
one of their games, and we have, like.
They lost to the Vikings. They struggled a little bit.
They were
Jacksonville,
down
some
9
turnovers.
to
Yeah,
Jacksonville.
some games.
Yeah.
let's go Raiders at Broncos. Dan, obviously, we talked about it off the top of the show. Crazy week for the Raiders. What do you think's happening in this game?
We had Booger McFarland on PMT today, and he said that he knows the interim head coach very, very well. He said he's a football guy through and through. Will rally, not fat, but like bigger.
Stocky?
He said he's if he had to pick 5 guys across the NFL to be in a foxhole with, he'd be one of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's big and
Yeah.
booger.
Yeah,
Smart
so
guy.
it made me pause, but I still think, no, you know what? I'm going to go with the Raiders. I'm going to trust Booger.
All right, Deion, what do you think?
Trust their booger. With all the turmoil, it's hard for these guys to focus. It's hard for these guys to really be down for the organization right now. Because out of a team, just say 53 active players, maybe 25 of those guys are really, really good players. The rest of the guys are just on the roster. Let's just get that straight. I don't know if that 25 is really going to be down. I mean, really going to be just locked in and to lead those other guys. I'm going with the Broncos because it's a home game. It's a home game for the Broncos. I'm going with the Broncos this week over the Raiders.
Dave?
Real simple. You tell me that a guy's a top 5 in the league
Yeah.
foxhole guy, don't think, just throw Nuke LaLoosh. I'll take the Raiders.
Okay, let's go Seahawks at Steelers. Obviously, Seahawks without Russell Wilson. Dave, who you taking?
Steelers, and again, in the Barstool Sports book, trying to send Jerry to Pittsburgh. So
Yep.
if we get enough people to bet this game on Pittsburgh, it's a multiplier. If you bet $5, enough people can go all the way. You win 50. But more importantly, if we get the number, we're sending Jerry VIP style,
Oh.
Jersey Jerry, to Pittsburgh, Bears, Steelers.
Monday Night Football.
Yeah, so
Yep.
send your boy
So-
to Pittsburgh.
And his son is no longer a mush, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
The Steelers
so
won. That was a line in the sand game for the Steelers. I had the
Yes.
Steelers last week. They kind of woke up a little bit. I don't know. I don't think they can replicate it, but that was the best their offensive line has played in a really long time. And I think they'll win this game pretty easily as well because the Seahawks defense does not pose a problem. Like the recipe to beat the Steelers, if you have a good defense, Big Ben looks a billion years old. I think the Steelers
Yes,
will
he
have
does.
their way.
And we want Jersey Jerry to be happy. Deion, you said earlier you think the season's done for Seattle.
Yeah, I do. But you know what I'm really interested in? Because somebody else is in the room and they wanted to hear what Dave just said about the $5 because they thought that was really interesting that Dave said if you put $5 down, even though I'm not a betting man. So can you reiterate that?
Yeah,
please, Dave?
yeah. So for the Pittsburgh game, we do a multiplier. So every 1,000 bets or something.
It's 2,000 bets.
The odds go up. So we'll get a lot because people want to say Jerry. So if you bet $5 on the Steeler, Barstool Sportsbook, they cover, you'll win 50.
For this
Yeah.
game, for this
For this
football game.
game.
Yes.
Yes.
So Seahawks,
Oh,
Steelers.
so what if somebody puts 100 on?
There's
No,
a max. We're not
$5
trying to go
max.
bankrupt here, Deion.
Yeah.
Oh, so,
Ma-
no, I don't know
max-
how betting works,
ma-
guys.
max $5.
How you gonna get mad at me? I'm
just
asking
telling
a
you,
question,
you're
darn
throwing
it.
things into the ether. Max.
Can you help me?
Max
help me
$5.
learn.
Max $5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The max is
Yeah,
$5.
Yeah, because
okay.
they don't want Penn to go bankrupt.
Correct.
So put $5
So
on this.
do people bet $5 multiple times up on the aliases though?
It's pretty hard to create the aliases because there's all the government regulation and
Gotta,
all
like,
that
send
shit.
your
I mean,
passport picture
a
and all
couple
that shit.
people
See, you're
may
educating
a couple
me.
people
You're
may be able
educating
to
me.
pull it off, but it's not easy.
Yeah, Deion, you have to like send a picture of
Yeah,
like your
it's a
passport
lot
next
of-
to your face and
yeah.
stuff. Like they really check
Oh,
it.
see, you're educating
Yeah,
me.
be
guys.
like running.
I love it.
Yeah, you'd
Thank
have to
you.
run a scam to do it.
And Deion, who
Thank
are
you.
you going to take the Steelers?
Yeah, I'm taking the Steelers, and I'm not doing that $5 thing. Go ahead.
Not a betting man. Monday night.
Up under my name.
Monday Night Football. Bills at Titans. Dave, high on the
So
Bills.
I love the Bills. I'm still debating putting a huge wager on them. They went from 8-1 to 6-1 to win the Super Bowl. They are co-favorites, I believe, with the Bucs right now. I think this game is going to be very close. The Bills are coming off an emotional game, a game that they kicked their ass. I know, Deion, if you watched that Monday night game when Josh Allen hurdled the guy, I know you went back and go, Dave was right. You did Dave was right. You said it to yourself. I know you did. He's playing great. He may be the MVP. I'm taking the Bills, but I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be very close.
Hey, guys, I'm with Dave for the first time in a long time. I'm with Dave. I like the Bills in this, but I'm afraid because I got a funny feeling Derrick Henry is going to be Derrick Henry in this game. I just got that feeling he's going to be Derrick Henry in this game, and it's going to be really tight, and he's going to run through this darn defense. But the fear, I'm afraid to go Tennessee all the way. So I'm going with Buffalo.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills as well, but if you were doing points here, I would take the Titans because it
You guys
does
them on
feel
visors?
you're just buying the Bills at their absolute
And this,
peak.
the Titans should be revved up. This is a big game.
Yes, yes.
Before we get to the primetime picks of the week, let's go out to the guys on the Fantasy Football Factory podcast, Ben Mintz and Stephen Shea.
I'm Ben Mintz.
And I'm Stephen Shea.
We're the hosts of the Fantasy Football Factory podcast. Mr. Shea, who we starting this week?
I'm going to start Taylor Heineke going against Kansas City Chiefs. He'll have 29 points or more in every game this season. Heineke's having a pretty good season. QB 17 in fantasy. More points than Aaron Rodgers. Start Taylor Heineke.
I'm starting Trevor Lawrence. Hopefully Urban Meyer can avoid the English women in London. The Dolphins secondary's falling apart. The Jags finally get their first win.
I'm going to sit Tyler Lockett on primetime against the Steelers. The over-under for this game is only 42. Geno Smith is starting at quarterback. He doesn't have the same connection as Russell Wilson. Sit Tyler Lockett.
I'm sitting Kirk Cousins. I trusted you, Kirk Cousins, and I'm a damn fool. You let me down the last 2 weeks and have a tough matchup on the road against a stout Carolina pass defense. Check out Dear Mr. Fantasy, 11:30 Eastern on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube app. Check out player prop bets all season long in the Barstool Sportsbook. It's time to clock out.
Thanks so much, fellas. Let's get to the primetime pick of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. Dependable and gritty like the people who drive them. Anything is possible with the Silverado. Now, Deion, I alluded to this off the top of the show. Survivor pool, now going into week 6. You are out.
Out.
You took the Raiders
Thanks.
last week.
See ya.
Yep.
It's going to be up to
I
you.
should have knew it was a scam coming. It was a scam coming. I should have known it.
The Bears ended your season, buddy.
The Bears, yes, they sure did. Dave and Dan both had the Patriots, a little bit of a sweat.
Yeah.
I was not, so I love
Well, you weren't sweating because you forgot that we had the Patriots.
Well, no, I never sweat the Patriots. I love the opportunity when it revealed itself down, again, the heart of a champion. When we're on our back, like Tyson Fury, we are at our best.
Okay. So
That's a good one.
So, Deion, now you know you're going to owe one of these guys a custom suit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you got to be prepared for that. Do you want to keep picking, though?
Yeah, I want to keep picking because
Okay.
I'm a picker.
All right. Who do you got this week?
Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going with Big Ben.
All
for the
right.
first time
Dave,
ever.
who are you taking?
Colts.
I'm also going the Colts. So Dave and I
wow.
are on the same one again.
Same pick.
Yep.
All right. Anything else, guys?
No, week 6. I
Week
can't
6
believe
is
we're already
crazy.
in week 6.
Let's go. Yeah.
It is
Yes.
insane. All right.
Next week, Patriots be back to even. It'll be a great time to be a Patriot fan. We'll be right back in the hunt.
Right back. Thank you so much, Glennie. I want to say bye to Glenny.
Thanks,
Thank you
Glenn.
guys. Had a great time. Appreciate it.
Good job, Glenny.
Big money.
See you, Glenn.
You're awesome, Glenny.
All right, we'll be back in week 7.